And I think that's it. I think I'm on. All right. Okay. This is my new office. Kind of echoey, I know. It's mostly because I don't have anything on the walls and I really haven't decorated. As you can see, I've got a bookshelf here. Got one right there. Got a ton of light coming in through the window next to me, but hopefully I'll be able to solve that soon. But aside from that, everything's coming together. I've got a ton of stuff to do still. Ton of boxes to go through. I've done quite a bit of it, but there's a few things I don't know if I want to hold on to or throw away. You know, you get to that point when you're moving. And, well, here it is. It's not much to look at the moment, but I have some big plans for it in the near future. Like I was probably going to work on it tomorrow, Wednesday, most likely. Problem is that I don't have a lot of time. My client is keeping me super busy. Trying to keep the house from falling apart is time consuming. Not really time consuming. My friend helped me spray the ants this morning, so that was really good. But I have to re-socket all the power sockets and switches, and have to put my kitchen together, and it's quite a bit. I don't remember having this much crap when I moved out of Westminster, but it is what it is, I guess. And one of the problems I'm having right now is that the light is bouncing off my neighbor's house right into the window, so it's like washed out on the right side or left side. And I'm hoping we've got some covering to go over top of it to try to fix that, but right now I've got my trusty strand of Walmart special bulbs that are pinned to the wall, so I have a little bit of light going on. And you might hear my kids in the next room because, well, my son's voice carries like you wouldn't believe, and without having pictures and stuff on the walls, he's pretty loud. And right now my daughter's playing games with her friends, so I can hear them playing GTA, and he's laughing at movies, and I gotta figure out a way to soundproof my office. But at least I can work, and that's the big thing. And I got some cool ideas for behind me, so hopefully I'll be able to get into that real soon. And if I get a chance, I want to go shopping tomorrow to get a decent light, because my Walmart special bulbs, which I'll show you when I'm done, they work, but like 1, 2, I think like 4 or 5 of the bulbs are burned out, and they're the old incandescent. It was cheap, and I think it was like $2. But it's a strand of lights, and I might throw them outside, but I don't know. We'll see. Aaron, hi from Michigan. Hello, Aaron. Hello from Colorado. And I'm hoping to get one of those really cool, nice round lights. That'd be cool. That'll look all kinds of professional in here. Anyway, how's it going, Aaron? Diana Brain. Hey, I hope your move went well. Well, it did. I was in, and everything was good. It's going good. It's been a few times where I thought we had problems. Like yesterday, we have an air conditioner here, my roommate and I, and when we turned it on, it was the condenser was filling up in the basement, and I've never had an air conditioner like this before. So I go downstairs and we check it out, and there's a little bit of a flood going on. So if you plug in the pump, it pumps the water out. So crisis averted. We have to replace all the power sockets, which is kind of a pain, but it needs to be done. I don't want to burn the house down. And we've done a couple of rooms so far. Rainy over there? I wish it was rainy. I love the rain. Right now it's sunny, a little bit overcast. It's really sunny. You can see the sun bouncing off my neighbor's house. But like yesterday we had, day before, we had a decent rainstorm. Get some thunder and lightning going on. It's pretty cool. And I live next to the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. It's turned into a bird sanctuary, so I get all kinds of cool animals now. Gil Horton, hey from Texas. Hello, Gil. Hello from Colorado. And I'm in Denver, Colorado. Yay. Well, super far north of Denver, but 15 minutes from the airport. So I get planes that fly over all the time, but I'm originally from Utah, and I was raised near Clearfield Air Force Base. And so I'm used to having F-16s and F-18s overhead all day long, so these little jets don't bother me at all. But being so close to the bird sanctuary, I get all kinds of critters eating the bird seeds out of my tree, which is really cool. We have this really beautiful red-headed bird that comes in, like blood red feathers. A beautiful bird. I'm trying to pick all the seeds, but the squirrels emptied the bird feeder for the sunflowers. So I had to change that up a little bit. I got the squirrels a corn on the cob type thing, so they'll leave their bird seed alone, and filled up all the bird feeders again. So hopefully we'll get some cool ones in. What's really nice is that yesterday morning I was out and I saw 8 different species of bird land on my tree, so that was pretty cool. I'm a big animal person, so I love animals. And we have these 3 squirrels that regulate the yard. It's 2 really scrawny males and 1 big fat female. And got to watch a squirrel dig the dirt and then roll in it like a dog. I've never seen that before, so that was pretty cool. I mean, he was really going at it. He had dust coming up everywhere. And then he belly crawled all the way across the rest of the yard. So it was pretty neat. Never seen it before. Aside from that, but anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, my lights. Yeah, I need to get better lights, and I'm hoping I'm gonna go to Micro Center probably tomorrow. So I'm hoping that they have those cool circle lights that everybody uses. But I have a feeling I'm probably gonna have to rig something up, like a fluorescent bulb above my head or something. I love birds. I do too. I love all kinds of birds. I heard a blue jay yesterday. That's pretty cool. We've got tons of robins. Then we got pigeons that'll try to land in the yard, but my cat wants to go at them, so that's pretty neat. Shyman, how's it going? And well, yesterday we were watching this pigeon land, and he really wanted to get in the yard, and he was checking it out. And I have this big fat orange cat named Sabia, and Sabia, he's not a hunter, so I don't know what he would do with a pigeon if he caught one, but he was eyeballing it, and this poor pigeon was trying to figure out how to get in the yard and check it out. So he flew down, came up right behind, it was my son, right behind my son's head, and like hovered there for a second, like, oh shit, there's people, and then took off. So I got birds all over the place, which is fine because I love birds. I'm gonna get a bird bath. Yeah, bird bath. I haven't seen any magpies or crows, which is kind of odd. I don't think I've ever lived in a place that didn't have some of those, but the blue jays and the little finches that we have out here. That red-headed guy, I have to look him up because he's pretty. So, yeah, so far so good. It's a nice, quiet neighborhood-ish. I can hear the traffic on Chambers. It's not like blazing loud, but it's not as quiet as the house in Westminster, but I think I kind of prefer that. I'm kind of a city boy. So like when I lived in LA, I used to love hearing the traffic out in the distance. And in Westminster, I didn't have that. But now that I moved up to Denver, I can hear some of the busier streets, and it's kind of comforting. I don't know why. I'm weird that way. But whatever. Oh, I made a butterscotch latte for tonight with a peppermint bark tea chaser. So it's kind of different. Surprisingly, they don't go bad together. Okay, so I'm working on getting the office put together. I've got some ideas for videos. I'm really excited for Wednesday's video. It's going to be the difference between picking a niche for writing and being a general writer. And I'm going to go into a bit of detail between the two of those. And I know there's a lot of people that like say you have to pick a niche if you want to be a successful freelance writer, but I'm living proof that you don't. I never have. The only reason why I'm stuck right now with WordPress marketing and business side of it is because that's what my client wants. Otherwise, I'm writing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, it is. It's minty butterscotch. It works. That's all I care about. It's not gross. I was debating on whipping up some matcha, but being so late in the afternoon, I don't know if I should drink that much caffeine. Because this is caffeine free, but my butterscotch latte is not. So I don't think I should chase that with matcha. But I'm going to be working on some stuff this week. I really like how I rearranged my schedule, so now I get more writing done. So I'm hoping that if I get in a good groove of that, then I'll start being able to produce more videos. And I'm hoping to hit Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the Friday weekly vlog, which usually, if you haven't seen it, is I answer comments on the video to if anybody else needs help with those. So I've got a lot of comments to go through. And what else? So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I've got a few other projects going on at the same time. So like the green blog, I really want to get back into doing that. Now that my son's here, I'm going to teach him how to use WordPress and Yoast SEO tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be starting to write some content on that. I would love to see where that experiment goes, because who knows, we might be able to make a money-making site. So that's going to be fun. And the gaming stuff I'm hoping to get back into on Tuesdays and Thursdays. God, I got so much going on. And I'm toying with the ideas of something to do with supporter content for Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. And I'm not really quite sure how to do that. I know for writers or for other video creators that something like Patreon, they get like behind the scenes videos and stuff. So I'm trying to think, how would a writer use those? And I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I cheapen it when I try. So I don't know. I might not do anything with it. I agree with you about finding a niche. Everyone says you should do that, but so far the opposite seems to be true, especially with TB, Text Broker. Yeah, oh, absolutely. In fact, I first started writing computers, networking, and technology, and like that's what I focused on for like the first couple of months, and I did really good. I was cranking them out. $25 a day or a week. I think it was like just starting out. Then I realized that all these other categories were getting filled up. So I thought, yeah, let's step outside my comfort zone. So I picked up a few and realized that I had a penchant for travel, animals, business, marketing, and internet. I think it was. There's been a few added since then, but I started writing whatever was out there. And one of the things that made me successful is that I love to learn new stuff. So anytime somebody threw something out at me that I've never done before, I relished in it because I love looking new stuff up. I love learning. And so I've done articles on, well, I've done 3 on Machu Picchu alone. I've never been outside the country. I've done roofing repairs. What's some of the other oddballs? Oh, there was a biometric time card dealie that I used to write for. That was pretty good. That was actually pretty cool. But you get to learn all kinds of new stuff if you just step outside the comfort zone. And that's why I don't really agree on some of these other freelancers who say you have to stick to a niche to be successful. Because I was making quite a bit on Textbroker writing whatever was thrown at me. And so I had clients all over the place on different categories. So I love to learn. I love to do the research. And I produce quality content, and I'm fast at what I do. So I was able to make quite a bit. And so I'm really disagreeing with the whole you have to stick to a niche thing. So that video will probably get hated a bit, but whatever. Yeah, I think it's good to branch out because you're always learning new things. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And also, there's going to be a few other points I want to add in that video is like a niche writer does have potential to make more than a general writer, but a general writer has more access to more jobs. So it kind of balances out a little bit because on one hand, you're not getting paid as much as someone who's an expert in whatever it is, but you can also apply to a lot more jobs than that one person. And there's nothing wrong with being an expert in many different things. So I'll go over all that on Wednesday, but yeah, it's been a video I've wanted to do for a while. It's been on my list, so that'll be on Wednesday, and then Friday I'll do the vlog where I reply to comments, and then I can't remember what I have planned out for next Monday or Wednesday. It's in Asana, so I know it's there. I've planned out the last couple of weeks. And if I'm capable of maintaining my schedule, I should be pretty close to finishing 7 on Wattpad, so that'll be kind of fun. And then comes the fun part of editing, and don't know how much I'm looking forward to that, because I look back at some of the older chapters and I'm like, man, that is really cringy. So I have a lot of fixing to do, but Aaron, with someone who's interested in trying TV, what kind of work would you suggest a newbie work on to get their feet wet? Well, essentially, I just used Textbroker to get my feet wet. When January 1st, 2012, I first applied to Textbroker. Before that, I owned my own computer repair shop that, long story, and things went bad. So after doing that for 4 years, I decided I was working for the school district and I needed something to supplement my income because the school district was only paying me $8 an hour. And then at the time, I was with my ex and my 2 daughters, and $8 an hour doesn't cut it. It puts us over the cap for food stamps, but not enough to actually pay anything. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? So that's why I started with Textbroker. So I got on Textbroker. I did my entry stuff, the 5 articles and all that, and that was my beginning, was Textbroker. I just started writing on that. It was a big difference between, because in college I would write in Oxford style English, but in everything online nowadays it's all AP style, and there's quite a bit of difference between the two, and so you'd have to decide what you want to do and learn a lot. I spent a lot of time in Google. And who the hell is sending me a snap? And I bet it is, yeah, figures. Hold on. Okay, yeah, apparently she doesn't know I'm live, so meta time. There we go. Leave me alone. Anyway, But that was what I did to get my feet wet writing at all, was starting with Textbooker. And then I spent a lot of time Googling everything, because Textbooker editors will pick apart your stuff and then tell you what you need to work on. Like, my biggest issue was comma usage. And there's a few other nuances for AP style that aren't the same in Oxford, so you have to learn those too, but commas are the biggest one. And so they would send back a review and tell you what I needed to work on. And then I would go to Google and look it up. And that's actually how I started Writer Sanctuary, is that in 2013 about the domain name, and thought, everything I learned, I'm going to put into practice, and I'm going to start writing on Writer Sanctuary. And so everybody can see now the growth of how you write. And yeah, if you go back and look at some of my stuff from back then, it's it's bad. So I could see why it took so long for me to get 4 stars, but that's what I would do. I would take whatever I learned, and then I would blog. And you don't necessarily have to buy your own website. I already had hosting from when I owned the computer center, and everything was going through my computer center email address at the time. So I just figured, well, I already have the website, might as well just keep going. So I just went ahead and did it. But if you wanted to learn on Google and practice what you learn, you can do free stuff like WordPress.com, Blogger, Tumblr, I guess, to an extent. But there's all kinds of options where you can put it into practice. Or you can even start with something like Medium, Hub Pages, and Vocal.media. And the editors there, I'll tell you that in a minute. The editors aren't nearly as strict as Textbooker. You can still publish your stuff, but if it comes out really poorly, they will stop it from happening. But it's another good place to start off with. I mean, you don't make a lot of money, like a few cents. It depends on if your article goes viral. But it does give you a chance to practice, and that's one of the biggest keys to succeeding as a freelance writer, is just keep yourself going. Like when you first start, when I was starting Textbooker, if there was no job for me to do, I wouldn't just sit there and watch Netflix or YouTube. I do now, but back then I didn't. And what I would do is I would look more stuff up on Google, or I would blog. Anything to improve my ability as a writer. That's how I spent my off time. And then when a job came up, I would do it. And what that does, that helps you fine-tune your skill. You get faster typing, you get better at proofreading, you become more knowledgeable, and the more knowledge you have, the more valuable you become. And so that's one of the biggest tips I can give any new freelance writers. It's to always keep your skills in motion, whether it's blogging or writing articles for yourself or spending time on Medium, Textbooker, all those other ones. Keep yourself productive in honing your skill. I mean, it's like all basketball and football players. Aaron, if you mean what kinds of assignments to work on, start with what you're comfortable with. Oh, okay. That's, yeah. For example, I have an architecture background, and I started writing about cities and real estate. Yeah, see, yeah, that's a good point. I probably went the wrong way with your question, Aaron. I'm sorry. But Diana has a good point. I started like I said earlier, I started with computers, networking, and technology, and then I just kind of went out from there, tested the waters a few times, and realized that I like doing other stuff too. So focus on what you're good at, what you know, and then experiment. Kind of step outside the box. I think the first thing I did after, I think it was animals, was the first category I stepped outside of my comfort zone. Do that out of the travel, because I did a lot of travel stuff. Yeah. Good job, Diana. Sorry, I went the wrong way with that, Aaron. It's all good. But yeah, there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. When the workflow is low, don't worry too much about it. Well, like you can, but what I used to do was when Textbooker was at lower levels of work, I would have Textbooker, Writer Access, and maybe at the end I was having Fiverr at the same time. So I'd have Textbooker, WriterAccess.com, and Fiverr, and all 3 tabs were open on my screen, and I would just bounce back and forth until I found work. So there's work out there. You just gotta kind of be flexible. Like right now with the whole pandemic thing going on, the workflow is a little bit lower than it used to. So it's a little bit more difficult, but the same principles apply. Consider it bonus content. Yep. Bonus. Yeah. I went off on an answer that didn't need asked. Or a question that wasn't asked. That's what it was. Nah, who knows? Maybe somebody will find value in it if they rewatch it later. Oh. But that's it in a nutshell. And then when you get to a certain point, see, it took me a year and a half before I could quit the school district and write full time. And I've been writing full time ever since 2013. Except for the last 2 years, has been more of an editor role. I do write the WordCamp pieces for my client. I do my blog, obviously. But most of my work nowadays is editing other people's stuff. So I have a team of writers underneath me. So it took me 7 years to get to that point. But I really wasn't marketing myself that well. So it was by sheer luck that somebody found me on LinkedIn. So that's how I got my current client. And I was going somewhere with it and I just forgot. I started off, it took me a year and a half, and then I started writing full time. So it's possible. And there's a lot more work available nowadays than there was when I first started. So I'm fairly confident that you make a full-time run out of just Text Broker. And there's other places you can go, obviously. And Text Broker is a great place to start because you learn all kinds of skills. Like you learn a bunch about AP style, you learn how to interact with different clients. I've had to do jobs for clients from all over the globe, and I've had some of the most awesome people and have had to deal with some of the most douchey people. So it's, yeah. You get all kinds of practical experience, what it is. And then when you're ready to move out and branch out and try finding some private clients, you'll make far more money and you're better prepared for it. So that's why I prefer to go the content mail route, because it does give you experience. And you get some money in your account, and you get something to pad your resume. And that's what it's all about. People pay more money for somebody who knows what they're doing. And I know there's a lot of people out there that say that you can start freelance writing right now, and they start throwing up all these huge dollar amounts, and it just, realistically, it doesn't work like that. There's too many factors that come into play that adjust how much you'll make. It's true, there's a lot of work on TV. It's great. Yeah, that's like when I first started, there'd be weeks, or not weeks, but there'd be days where there'd be like no work at all. And so that's one of the reasons why I only made like $25 an hour on average. And I would get off work from the school district, come home, get on the computer, maybe eat lunch, and then try to write. And sometimes there would be nothing there. And it is far, far more busier today than it was when I started. I've heard TB has the most available work of any content mail. The ones that I've used, absolutely. Like Writer Access it's a comparable system. You get paid about the same. Same kind of principles are set up where you have your editor and you write and submit it and stuff like that. So it's kind of similar. But the reason why I stuck with Text Broker is because there was way more work. Like when I have those two tabs open, a Text Broker and Writer Access, and bounce back and forth, sometimes I'd get 1 or 2 articles on Writer Access, but then all of a sudden a client would come in and drop down 1,000 articles on Text Broker. And so I got to a point where I never logged into Writer Access, and after 3 months they shut down your account. So I was so busy on Text Broker that I didn't have to use any of the other content mails. And I did use Hire Writers, and I hate their layout. I hate their GUI. In fact, I hate it so much that I took it off of Writer Sanctuary as an affiliate. I don't want your money. It was a horrible system. And I bet there are people out there that probably use it. But one thing you have to be wary about with content mills is if they say that they offer some of the cheapest content to clients on the internet, that also means that they're offering their writers the cheapest rates on the internet, and you gotta be a little skeptical about that kind of stuff. But when it comes to keeping me busy, text broker, I'm on a bunch of teams. I've had direct orders galore. There were times where I would have so much work coming in that it would take me days to get through it all. And especially when you're doing a lot of the really good teams, and you can keep yourself going quite easy. And there were days where I got invited to a 5-star team and I made, it was like $200 something in one day. $50 of it was in one article. So it was nice. So if you get up there and you start pumping out a bunch of stuff and the managers start recognizing you as a writer, they'll start contacting you directly in email and asking you specifically to handle a certain client. And they did that to me several times. Like there was a client that sold, a big name client who sold networking equipment. You've probably heard of them, but I can't say. But they wanted me specifically to write their stuff. So I wrote their ebook and I did 6 months worth of content for the client before they, I think they got an in-house writer so they didn't have to pay as much. So it happens. But it's pretty cool because they'll contact you directly for stuff. So how does TB market itself to clients and how does it reflect on writers? Let's see, since I work on TextBroker as both an author and as a client, because I represent my client in TextBroker to buy articles, it's kind of convoluted, but so I see both sides of the coin. And they market out to essentially like banners and stuff. I've seen some advertisements from TextBroker on Google or YouTube actually, and it's they advertise content for your website because a lot of big companies don't have writers in house, or they have, or even smaller companies who don't have the best writing skills, they'll hire people, especially when it comes to SEO nowadays. Oh yeah. And then you have to write for search intent. There's quite a bit that goes into it. And if you learn all you can about SEO, you'll go far. But TextBroker will market the website, market their services out to clients who are searching for getting content for their website. And content is king. The more content you have, the better your chances of grabbing a wider audience. And so a lot of clients will pay or dump a ton of money to TextBroker for writers and just to write as much as possible. And when it comes to reflecting on the writers, the only bad part about TextBroker is that it's ghostwriting. So your name doesn't go on it. You don't get to claim any credit for it. So if you're writing an amazing piece, then it's not yours. That's one of the biggest reasons why I was trying to move from ghostwriting to more of what I do now, where I can put my name on stuff. And because I've come up with some amazing stuff, and I was like, that's kind of a bummer. In fact, there's a few times where I was researching an article and I'd come across something I wrote. It's like, hey, now that right there is an amazing feeling. When you're just browsing the internet and you come across some random article on a website that you forgot from a couple of years ago, and then you realize, I wrote that. So that's kind of a cool feeling, but that's the biggest problem with it, is that you don't get to claim anything. And that's one reason why I have the blogs, one of many, I guess, is that my name does go to everything. And right now, when I Google myself, I am in competition with a lawyer and a doctor. And so it's my goal to surpass them in search results. So I don't know. They've been established, so it might take a little bit of work, but if you put my name with author at the end of it, you get to see everything I've done. And there was a lot of stuff. Tea's almost gone. But yeah, that's TextBroker is a good system. It's not. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should do nothing but TextBroker for the rest of your life. But it is a great stepping stone especially for beginning writers who've never done professional writing before, like I didn't. Yeah, that must be amazing. And you're right. That's the only thing I don't like about TV. Yeah, But like I said, it is a good system to get experience. And once you get to that point where you start feeling confident and you start thinking, yeah, I can do this, and then you flesh out your LinkedIn profile. That's how my client found me. I've been contacted through Facebook and Twitter. So when you get to a certain point and you feel confident about writing, definitely promote yourself, because you'll make far more money. Like right now, I make way more money now than I did when I was on TextBroker. I still check TextBroker periodically, but I make quite a bit, and that's what it's all about. And the people that hired me, their prerequisite is a bachelor's degree of some kind. Most writing places do nowadays. And I went to school for graphic design, and I never got to finish, so I don't have a degree. I'm just really good at what I do, and they hired me. So and that's my whole point, is that you get that practice behind you, and you can just slam it out. Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of goodness that comes out of it. I kind of miss writing for. I had one manager at TextBroker who used to text me or email me all the time about jobs, and I guess he left the company, went somewhere else, and the chick that replaced him screwed one of my orders up badly. So yeah, bad times to that. But that was the only bad time was because of one manager. I did get in an argument about what word was it? The editor at TextBroker was saying I was using their incorrect version of the word, but I wasn't. I was using the English version, and the French version is spelled with an A. English was spelled with an E, and I can't remember what word it was. Oh, God, that went on forever. Then it got to the point where I just was using the word just to piss them off. It's like, no, I'm right. I'm gonna drive it down your damn throat. Google it. I did. And eventually they gave up. Or they realized they were wrong, but either way, I won. So, God, what's your ambience? Was it ambience? Yeah, ambience. They wanted me to use the French version. I'm like, no, I'm an American. This is an English company. I'm writing in English. We're using the English version. So sometimes it happens. Not all TextBroker editors are skilled. I've come across a few that I questioned. In fact, there was one that I directly messaged TextBroker management about it. Like, this editor is smoking crack. Did you ever visit TB headquarters in Las Vegas? No, I haven't. There's been a few times where, like when I was driving through, I thought it'd be kind of fun to stop by, even just to take a picture of it. But I never did. Of course, I've only been in Las Vegas once, and that was on my way back from LA to Colorado to move home. And we stopped by to gamble at the MGM, lost $20. Didn't have a lot of money on me. And like my daddy always says, never gamble anything you're not afraid to lose. I'm always afraid to lose shit, so I don't gamble. It's fun, but anyway, I was only in Las Vegas for maybe 2 or 3 hours on our way back, so long drive. But I do have a picture of me standing in front of the sign at Good Springs. Now, if anybody out there is a Fallout Las Vegas fan, yeah, that was pretty cool. That's a game that I play, and so when I saw that sign, I kind of geeked out and had to take a picture of it. It was pretty neat. And then we drove back to, we went through Utah, so we stopped and see my family. I think we stopped at my son's graduation at that time. That's how we timed it. And then from that, I came home. So it was kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Right now, I guess they're working with the skeleton crew in Las Vegas, even though their mayor wants to reopen. Oh, wow. I don't know what your views on this whole coronavirus thing is, or your political stance, but I'm sorry, this mayor is a twit. If you want to watch something entertaining, you gotta Google it. She's psycho. using her people as fodder. It's bad. I mean, this is one of those politicians where everybody knows is a questionable. Anyway, I'm not. This isn't a political channel, which is fine. Oh, I am so tired. I can tell you what, I am burned out. I spent the last week and a half getting stuff moved. As you can see, I haven't really done much in my office. They are actually rewarding authors with tips once they reach a certain word count. Yes, they have a Textbooker now has a bunch of really cool incentive programs, and some of them I'm like, I was debating on jumping on the bandwagon myself, because when it comes to word count, I was one of the best, and so I'm like, I wonder if I can beat some of the people nowadays. I mean, it's been a while, but I think it'd be kind of fun. And I don't necessarily need the money. I just like the competition. Oh, so I might just do that. But yeah, you get, I can't remember the bonuses offhand, but you can make quite a bit if you hit like 10,000 words. If you can hit 10,000 words in like a month, or is it 3 months, then you get like a $500 bonus or something like that. My goal was to hit 10,000 words in a day. So Ty's graduation. Yeah, it was my son's graduation on our way from Las Vegas. And so yeah, when I saw some of the goals, some of the word count goals on that sheet on Textbooker, I'm like, oh, all right then. There was weeks where I would easily clear between 50 and 70,000 words. So right now I have a 1 million word challenge for myself. I want to see if I can write 1 million words this year. And back in the day when I first started with Textbooker, like back in 2014 and 2015, I used to average anywhere from 2.5 to 3 million words a year. So that's the problem with where I'm at now, is that most of my day is spent editing, so I don't really get to type anything. So it's really going to be kind of difficult to hit my 1 million word goal, but I still think I might be able to do it as long as I get some blogging time in, because I'm counting words that I write on my blogs, my clients, and creative work like 7. I think that's it. And so I'm trying to get as many as I can, but wow. And if you're curious as to where I stand on that, you can always visit. You can tell it's been a long week already, and it's only Monday. If you visit michaelbrockbank.com, I have the word count on the right side on the sidebar. Jesus. Oh yeah, I need to drink more. It's been a long, long week. I'm hoping though that if I get everything organized and done, get 7 done, get that edited, I really want to do videos and blog posts about self-publishing. That's something I've been really interested in, especially with the issues my mom had when she got published, and my sister. So you can win a trip to Las Vegas. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how fun it'd be right now. They'll probably postpone it till after the whole global pandemic thing, but I don't know. I'd go to Las Vegas and be by myself. Right now, to get to Las Vegas, I'm hoping as soon as this is all over with, I can go back to my plan of playing at Top Golf. I want to be in a league. And that was one of the regional playoffs are in Las Vegas. But then they have like laptop bags, I think. God, I can't remember. I guess I'm gonna look it up. They had a lot of really cool stuff. So, yeah. So if it wasn't for, let's see, in the middle of February, I found out that we were being evicted, and then I've spent the last, since then, trying to get into my home. So going to different houses, looking at rentals, looking at selling, sellers, trying to get a loan. Oh, that was a nightmare. And then playing musical printer with my roommate, because we had to scan, print, scan, and email again, and it was just a joke. I've had a very, very long 3 months. And it's still going. But I made huge progress in the living room yesterday, so I'm going to work on my office this week, so it's going to be all nice and spiffy. I got some really cool ideas too. I just don't know what I want to do with half this stuff. I know a lot of it needs to be thrown away, but I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder, but I don't like to let things go, especially when a lot of stuff from back when I was building computers I still have, and it's kind of hard to get rid of it. But I think I need to move on, because that's therapeutic for me, I guess. Yeah, bad times. But anyway, oh, I'm sorry. That must have been tough. Oh, that's an understatement. It was a nonstop nightmare. They were going to close on the 11th and the 26th and the 30th, all of it in April, and then the 8th, and then we finally closed last week on a Friday. Was it last week? It's only been a week. This will be 2 weeks. And it's just, the lender's horrible. We had to go through all these different things to prove that we're not terrorists trying to launder money. And it was just, I will never, ever buy a house again. At least not with a loan. Next time I buy a house, I'm paying cash. But on the upside, I do like my house. I love my house. It's a bit older. It's in the 70s. It uses aluminum wiring, so I'm working on fixing all that. But it's comfortable. It has a nice homey feel to it. Like I wrote in my Buy Me a Coffee post, it reminds me a lot of when I would go over to my grandma's house back in the day, like 80s, and I'd sit at my grandma's house and play on the Commodore 64, eating raisins. But it's that feeling of just safety and warmth, I guess. It's really, I don't know. I have a really good feeling about my house. I love it. I like the layout. I've got my own private bathroom. I don't have to share with the kids. Yay. That's a bonus. Oh, I got a huge bedroom. Now I gotta get a huge bed. I need to get a king size. I like my bedroom's got a lot of space. I can put a couch in my bedroom. Don't know why anybody would do that though. I've seen pictures of people having chairs and couches and stuff in their bedroom. I'm like, I don't entertain in there, so why would I need a couch? But I guess there's some people that need them, I guess. But as long as I have a private shower, a private toilet, and my own sink, I'm happy. And then Dan, my roommate, he lives in the basement. He's got the entire basement, and I've got the entire upstairs. And we both got the same square footage. And so that's how we're kind of splitting it up. And I think I can't say that I got the better of the deal, because I love sunlight. I love being able to look out the window and see the birds. I have my cats love looking outside. I love natural light. He loves being in basements and having his man den so he can enjoy. So I guess we both kind of made out, so it's pretty cool. Right now somebody just tried to open my office door. I need a sign that says filming. You get a red light that flashes. My daughters are visiting right now, and they're teenagers, and they just tried to walk in. They know I'm working, but that's okay. I am hot. Maybe it's a fold-out bed? Well, yeah, it could be a fold-out bed, but then why would you have a fold-out bed in your bedroom when you have a bed? Unless you're letting people stay over, I guess? Well, I guess that could be a thing. I don't know. It seems a little weird. Each to their own. Oh. So that's everything in a nutshell. As soon as I get the house situated, I'll be more available to do more fun stuff. And I was kind of thinking of something fun to do, like a behind the scenes, show you my schedule of how I get up in the morning and my routine of how I get going. Like I get up, drink my Emerge, which is an energy drink, kind of. It's one of those health things. Drink a bottle of that, do my exercise, take a shower, and get to work. I don't know. I try not to be that boring. It sounds boring when I say it out loud, so I'm like, maybe not. I don't know. I'm still trying to find my way around, so. But I think that is going to do it for me tonight. I'm pretty tired. I'm hot, exhausted. The kids are yelling in my ear. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can. And yeah, that's about what we're doing. Sorry I didn't come up with the topic for tonight. I really wanted to. I sat down and thought I sat here for like an hour trying to come up with something good. And I think it's just, I'm so tired right now. My bed is like sleeping on brick. It's like really super hard memory foam. It doesn't matter if the memory foam is like, when you jump in it and you land on it, damn near knocks you out. So that's a little hard. And I can't sleep very well on it. Yeah, that's a great idea. I need to develop a routine. Oh, okay, well, I guess if it doesn't sound that bad, I'll do it. It took me, so like, if you go back and read through my blog, you can see that, or even the videos, I have a hard time sticking with the schedule. And I'll have the best intentions. I'll say, yep, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I've got it all planned out, but it never went that way. It was either kids or kids or people need my help, or I had to go do this, or go do that. So I never really got a really good set schedule until now. And right now, I'm putting my foot down. When that door is shut, I'm not here. Pretend I'm at work. I'm no longer in the house. That's my attitude. And then it's all about, as soon as you get into that routine and come up with a good strategy to maintain, consistency is key. So once you start doing it over and over and over, make it a habit. Like I have to get back into the habit of exercising every morning, because I was up at 6, drank my drink at 6:30, started working out at 6:45, got in the shower by 7:30 because I'd have breakfast. By 8 o'clock I'd be working. But then everything kind of fell apart in February with this whole, my landlord kicking us out because he wanted to sell the house in the middle of a pandemic. So we even offered to pay him an extra month, and he still, anyway. Ever since then, it's just been really hard to get back into the groove. So, Shyman, you should ask subscribers to offer topics. Thus, you will just choose one from our numerous offers. Oh, that's a good idea. So, well, let's try it this time around. I'll even announce it on Friday too on the Reddit blog. If you have a topic that you'd like to talk about live, leave it in the description down below, and we can go through and pick one or two of them, or depending how long it is, we can do several. And also keep in mind that I am pretty active on Twitter. I try to get on Facebook when I can, but I'm most active on Twitter, and you can reach me there on any of those social media platforms, or you can use the contact form on ridersanctuary.com. And the emails that come to me, I usually try to respond as quickly as I can. But with all this going on, sometimes it's been taking a day, so I apologize for that. But I try to maintain. But if you have any ideas, you can always send a message there too. But I think we're going to end it on a high note and call it a night, because I am fading fast and I don't want to ramble, because I often say stupid stuff when I ramble, or I repeat myself a lot. And if Sam's watching, she can attest to that. So I think we're gonna call it a day. And if you have any ideas, feel free to mention it. And I can't remember which one to shut off first, and I keep doing this every time. So I think that if I stop the stream on OBS, that it'll time it right, because I don't want to like cut off the end of it. So the haircut. Or, I just had one, maybe. Maybe if I brushed it. Anyway. So, that's going to do it for me today. And I will see y'all on Wednesday. Have a good week. And